When the ball that I'm using, and it doesn't matter what you've got, are all a great tool for us to get a little bit of more proprioception and skin touch onto the areas that we want to get working. And in some cases it can increase the instability, which is also really great for your core. So start off by just feeling that experience. Okay, it's really there on the skin of the inner thighs. And then draw your breath here down into the side ribs. Do notice if you're either a belly or an upper neck breather. And see if you can instead balloon the breath down and wide into the side ribs. Okay, keep pressure on the ball here. You can open your eyes, place your hands onto your front hips, and just begin to flatten and then arch your lower back. Flatten and then arch your lower back. So that we've got some tilting going on through the pelvis. And as you're doing that, you're actually looking to start to get reference for the front of the pelvis until we find what we call neutral pelvis, which is that the hips are flat towards the roof, that this diamond that makes the two hip bones down into the pubic bone would sit flat, like you had a glass of water settling there. Once you've got that, stay there. Take your in-breath down and wide into the side ribs. As you breathe out, hug the ball with your knees and lift just one leg up. Place it back down, inhale. Change to the other leg, exhale. Now we've got 6 of these, and your work really at the moment is just side rib breath in. And as you breathe out, you squeeze and lift the pelvic floor, trying to keep the front pelvis completely flat to the roof. No movement through the hips. Let's do 4 more. For 3, and if you're someone that is a belly breather, or that gets abdominal tension, or even has challenges with the pelvic floor, this alone is huge. Breathing into the ribs and keeping the pelvis still. And then we're going to try it with both legs. So your goal still is that front pelvis flat. Feel both legs lift up, inhale. And both legs tap like the mat is a hot plate, so they just lightly touch, exhale. Inhale, lift up, knees over hips, shins out straight. Exhale, tap down. Do that 4 more times. Again, front pelvis flat. Breathe into the side ribs. For 3. For 2. Last one. Tap it on down. Now lift up, hold the legs there. Take the hands a bit wider. Hug the ball to lower the knees over towards the right side. Stop before the left shoulder lifts. Inhale up through the center. Keep hugging the ball. Go over to the left side. Right shoulder stays down. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring it across, and feel those muscles at the side ribs, they're really working. We want to wake up the obliques and ask the obliques, the muscles of the waist, to do this. Notice if your chest or your shoulder muscles think they should be doing the work. And you don't need to worry or judge yourself if that's happening, but it's just important to notice that pattern so that we can start to address it as we move. 1 more to the back of the room. Good, then place the feet back down. Keep holding the ball where it is at mid-thigh there. Hands are back down by your side. This time tilt, flatten the lower back and keep it flattened as you roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, just into a bridge at bra strap, no higher. Then roll slowly back down 1 vertebrae at a time. And you're going to do that 4 more times. Keep the pressure on the ball. Keep the sternum down, the chest down, the bra strap down, and then slowly roll back down. So that if you did notice in the chest before that either the throat or the chest muscles are dominant when the abdominals should be working, then you really want to notice it here. Keep them down, keep them relaxed. 2 more. Rolling up just a bra strap or think heart rate monitor. Articulating the spine 1 vertebrae at a time. Your goal here is to get a little bit of space between the bones. Last one up. And then hold it here and stay. Hug the ball. Give your whatever's between your knees a little bit of a squeeze for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. And then reach down and adjust whatever you've got just a little bit higher. So it's now completely between the knees. So it's come up off mid-thigh and it's up between the knees now. You roll up again to a bridge, just at lower ribs. Stay there, hold it. Again, keep the sternum and the chest very relaxed and the breath coming down into the sideways. See if you can tilt the pelvis more. Lengthen one leg straight on out, holding the equipment between your knees and place it down. We've got 8 of those. Lengthen away. Place it down. And notice where you're bracing and instead see, can I breathe into the ribs? Breathe out, squeeze pelvic floor and tilt pelvis. Breathe into the ribs. Breathe out, squeeze pelvic floor, tilt the pelvis. You've got 4 more. Keep the whole upper back relaxed, broad and wide. For 3, tilt the hips more and really keep squeezing that block. For 2, last one, tilt the pelvis even more, roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Keep the ball where it is, keep squeezing it with the inner thighs, reach the hands up and overhead, inhale. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulders, hands to mid-thigh, and just feel that the movement is initiated from the upper back, the shoulder blades, not the neck. Lower down, reach the hands overhead again, inhale. Exhale, come up, hands to mid-thigh. Just 1 more like that. Inhale, teach yourself to initiate from between the shoulder blades. Exhale, roll up 1 vertebrae at a time, all the way up to seated. Take a nice big breath, reach up. And then as you exhale, hands forward. Tilt the pelvis, curl, and roll back 1 vertebrae at a time. Notice if the chest and shoulders are dominant. Draw the support down into the waist, the lower belly, and the pelvis. Arms overhead, breath in. Squeeze the ball, hands forward, roll up, breathe out. Inhale, tall. Pelvis rolls under, roll back 1 vertebrae at a time. Really squeeze the pelvic floor. And you've got 3 more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Use the breath. Breathe out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, hands to roof. Exhale, roll up. Stay here. Rise to the tippy toes. Feel that the spine is very straight. Take a breath in. 1 toe points away. Hug the ball or equipment. Place it down. Change legs. And it's still about breath. Inhale, low and wide. Exhale, squeeze pelvic floor. 4 more. Inhale, low and wide. Exhale, squeeze pelvic floor. For 3. For 2, keep the legs really strong. That'll draw all the leg muscles up off the lower back. The lower back won't have to do their work. Last one, hold the leg there, please. Squeeze whatever equipment's between the knees. Reach the fingers a little higher and lift the other leg. We're here for 5. Notice if the abdominals bulging, lengthen spine. Breathe into side ribs and keep trying to hollow the abdominals while you squeeze and lift the pelvic floor. For 2. Last breath. Please place it down. Keep the ball between the knees. Lift tall, inhale. As you exhale, lean back, hands to heart. Then turn and twist. In through the center, inhale. Exhale, lean back, turn and twist. 4 more, inhale. Lean back, turn and twist. For 3. Lean back, turn and twist. 2, notice if the legs are scissoring on your equipment. Keep that work on the ball so that the hips stay steady and the twist just comes from the ribs here. Last one. Lower down. Turn and twist. Good. Come through the center, roll up to seated, and move the ball down to between the ankles. You're going to turn over, lay on your side, take one leg away, the other hand out in front of you, and put a little bit of pressure onto the hand, that's fine. For a moment, feel that you at first lift the waist up off the mat. Take a nice big breath in. And as you breathe out, both legs lift up to hip height, and then lower. Hip height, and then lower. Now have a look down at the hips. Quite often we see that the hips will start rocking back. You want to feel like you've got a ruler at the front of the pelvis, and the whole front of the pelvis is just straight up and down to the roof. 7 more like this. Keep that pressure on the equipment between the ankles. For 5. For 4. 3. 2. And 1. Lift up, hold it there, and pulse onto the equipment between your ankles 20 times. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release it down. Please bring the ball up. Take a hold of the ball or the equipment you've got and put it underneath that top hand. Good. Hold it here. Again, check that the hips are stacked and bring the toes just slightly in front of your body. Press down onto the ball or the equipment. Lift your waist off the mat and lift your top leg in the air. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Kick the leg forward twice. Inhale back. Kick forward twice. Inhale back. Forward twice. Inhale. And good. You've got 4 more. The goal here is for the shoulders, the waist, and the hips to stay completely still, like they're between 2 panes of glass. Feel that the pelvic floor does a double pulse. Lift, lift as you kick forward. Last 2, lift, lift. Now breathe down into the side ribs. Last one, lift, lift. Bring it back. Place it down. Keep the ball in this hand. Roll over onto your belly and stretch that hand all the way away. Good. The other hand is overhead as well. Same foot as the ball lifts up in the air, please. Keep pushing down onto your equipment. Hand that's not on equipment lifts up. And we hold it here for 5. Push down onto the equipment for 4. Go for length, lengthen out the neck, the spine, feel the tailbone lengthening to the heels. Last breath. Now relax down, shift to the ball or equipment to the center of the mat, both hands onto your equipment. Really push down into it. Feel the top of the feet on the mat. Now take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw up between the front hip bones, push down into your equipment and curl up just into a tiny little cobra. And then roll back down. You've got 4 more of these. Push down into your equipment, roll up into a tiny little cobra. And relax down. 3 more, it's just about a spinal articulation. Feel the bones at the upper back, squeezing, rolling up. Last 2. Last 1. Pop your equipment to the other side now. The other hand pushes onto the equipment. The same leg as the hand on the ball or equipment lifts up. The opposite hand lifts, and we're here for 5. Really keep pushing down into your equipment. It really tones some nice muscles around the shoulder blades. For 4. Lengthen the tailbone. Feel the breath in the side ribs. And draw up between those front hip bones. Last breath. Please relax down and make your way over onto your other side for all our side lying leg work. So equipment between your ankles again. Top arm overhead, top hand in front of you. Legs slightly just in front of the body so that you can see the toes. Bring them up to hip height and lower. Up and lower. Good. Keep trying to lift the bottom waist up off the mat so it's not collapsing down. There's an active energy of squeezing up and away. For 7, 6, check that both hip bones stay facing forward. Your goal really is to keep the torso still and just move the legs for 2. 1 more, hold it up there, squeeze the ball with the ankles, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14. Good, keep the pressure on. Both legs are still stomping away and there's a definite squeezing between the front hip bones. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Release it down, draw the ball up, place it in front of you, top hand onto the equipment. Again, feet slightly in front of you when you lift the top leg. Inhale. Pelvic floor squeezes and lifts. Exhale. Hold it, waist off the mat. Inhale. Kick forward twice. Inhale. Kick forward. Inhale. Flex and point. Flex and point. Push into the equipment. Keep the waist up. For 5. For 4. For 3. Good. Last 2. Notice if there's any collapsing in the waist, the shoulders, or the hips. Bring it back. Place it down. And come over onto your back, please. Now bend the knees up. And this time place the ball between the ankles. Really big squeeze. Start with the legs high to the roof. Place the hands beside you and turn the palms up. Now remember that idea of neutral pelvis, where the hips and the pubic bone all lined up to be flat to the roof? Find that, please. It's perfectly fine if you've got a natural arch of your lower back. We call that neutral spine. Your goal here now is for the spine and the pelvis not to move. They keep this position exactly. Breathe low and wide into the side ribs. As you exhale, legs lower slowly for 5, 4, 3. Now they only go as long as your hips and your spine don't move. Then lift up, inhale. Lower slowly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Feel the pubic bone zipping back to the navel. Pelvis very still. Six pack would actually be quite relaxed here if you've fully got it. And when we've fully got it, hopefully you can feel that it's the pelvic floor and it's the inner muscles of the pelvis really working for you here. Feel that the thigh muscles stay strong. If the thigh muscles start switching off, that's going to really grab in your lower back. The lower back's going to have to stabilize. So strengthen the legs more. For 3, zip up. For 2, zip up. Last one. Zip up. Now hold it here. Inhale, take the hands overhead, please. Exhale, lift on up, hands to mid-thigh, lift from the upper back. Pilates hundreds, pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale through the mouth. Exhale out of the mouth. Legs are powerfully squeezing the ball. And the hands are reaching away powerfully past the thighs. Feel that instead of lifting from the neck, that you're lifting from between the shoulder blades. And every time you breathe out, the pelvic floor lifts as the ribs funnel down to the hips. You've got 4 more breaths here. Exhale. For 3. For 2. Out of the mouth. Last one. Please release. Knees into the chest.